All right, guys, welcome back to the All In CrossFit Podcast. We're on episode 20. After a little brief hiatus, we are back to give you the news, the updates, and everything you need to know going on at the gym and
in the CrossFit world.
In the CrossFit world and wherever, you know. Who knows where this thing is going to take us. Jared, how you been? What you been up to?
Good, man. I've been busy. Out of town. Man. That's probably one of the main reasons why we haven't had a podcast.
Been a few weeks, yeah. I mean, you've been working hard. I've been had to put my professional breakdancing career on hold for a little bit.
Out of commission.
Yeah, out of the commission for a little bit. Had a little knee surgery, but we're back. We're back.
I mean, you say it like it's nonchalant, like, yeah, no big deal. Knee surgery.
I mean, it's my third time having my meniscus fixed. You know, so I mean, if you're gonna be a pro having surgery, you just kind of hope it's the meniscus. The only thing I was only really worried about is waking up from the anesthesia. It's a simple procedure, but you know, just want to first of all thank Mr. Drew Burkhalter from what is it?
Premier Services.
Premier Services. You just told me that. From Premier Services for this sweet backdrop. First time seeing it, but go ahead and get used to it. It's just gonna be everywhere. And also, if you ever need a koozie, Drew can hook you up with that as well. Keeps all your beverages cool for the long haul. Any more shout outs we need to make?
No, I think that's it so far.
Good.
Shout out to Lindsay for the background music.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be an interesting podcast. It's our first one after a long time. We've got a few announcements we need to make, but other than that, we're just gonna roll with it. So let's go ahead and get it started. First things first, guys. If you're listening this weekend, this Saturday, at 7 p.m. we're going to have our Christmas party. It's going to be over at Shelby's house. Make sure that we'll have some food for you. If you would like to bring a dessert, feel free. But mainly it's just come, hang out. It's BYOB. And we'll just fellowship with one another and have a good time. Christmas parties are usually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I
missed
enjoy
it
them.
last year.
I enjoy them a lot. But then, 2 weeks after that, on the, was that 15th?
15th, yeah.
December 15th.
Because that is graduation day. That's on that Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday, December 15th, we're going to celebrate Jacob Fillmore. He's graduating. It's going to be like a celebration and a farewell. As soon as he graduates, he's going to head off to Tampa to start his job. So you see him, congratulate him, and also try to make it to his party. Be a good time. But I saw the announcements for all the in-house announcements. The CrossFit world, though, Sanctionals, we did a podcast a little while back talking about how the regional scene was going to change and how there weren't going to be any more regionals anymore, and people were going to have to qualify for the CrossFit Games through these sanctioned events that were.
How many of them are there now?
There are 18 announced sanctioned events that are being dubbed Sanctionals instead of regionals. And the first one kicks off next week over in Dubai. The Dubai CrossFit Championship. That'll be interesting. They're going to have a lot of live stream action going on. You better watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think it's a 4-day competition. 4 days, a lot of heavy hitters. Oh, what? If you can get there.
Yeah, that's true. And they don't provide, you have to provide your own airfare as the athlete to get over there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
And that's the thing with these.
Better be ready to roll if you go.
Oh, I know. And that's the thing with these, with all these sanctioned events is, you know, like, how do you get to it? Like, if you're an athlete that's truly trying to make it to the CrossFit Games, can you afford to do all these events? 'Cause, I mean, they're all over the place. We got, you know, Dubai, London, China, Australia,
Cape Town,
yeah, South Africa,
pretty much. Brazil? Isn't there one in
Brazil? Brazil has one, yeah.
I mean, it was already, regionals was already worldwide, but they had it set up so that only so many people qualified. Now it's just like the 18 of them, they're spaced out. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, folks from all across can have access to get there.
And I mean, you know, you talk about how many different people can qualify. I think that in the beginning they were like, oh, well, there are no more regionals. And, you know, a lot of people looked at their, you know, they were treating the regionals as their CrossFit Games. Yeah. But I think now there are even more opportunities because if you, like the main argument is that, oh, well, the big name athletes are going to take all the qualifying spots. Well, they can't do every single event.
No. And that's one of the things I was thinking about is, I mean, it's going to become a strategy for the elite athletes as to which one you go to, especially if there are some that are in, like, you know, maybe this early part of 1 month and then the latter part of another. Because with 18, they're going to be spaced out all throughout the year. And the athletes traditionally had been training to peak at the end of regionals going into the games.
Right.
And so now with all of the sanctionals being throughout the years, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, who's performing well at what time of the year, and then how they're going to do that based off their training to decide which one to go to.
Right. Because, I mean, you can't peak for 12 events. And you can't, I mean, I don't think your body can withstand it. I mean, I know.
No, I mean, you get beat up.
Yeah, CrossFit, it's still pretty early in the game, so we don't really know the true effects of competing at a high level like that and what that does to your body long term. But when you start thinking about it, man, like a lot of these qualifiers are going on at the same time. Like I know the Dubai qualifier and Wadapalooza's qualifier were happening at the same time. So there were athletes doing 4 qualifier workouts a week.
Yeah.
If you think about that, like the way the Open shapes up, like you do a workout and then you're like, oh, I don't really like my score on that, so I need to redo it.
Redo it, yeah.
You know, you could possibly doing 8 workouts a week that are just for qualifiers. So you basically spend all of your time doing that. You don't have time to train. And then what does that do for your performance when you show up to the actual competition? So, I mean, looking at it from a strategy standpoint, I mean, you've got to be kind of choosy and hope that you do well at the ones that you choose. Because if you choose to go to Dubai, all right, with the travel considerations, I mean, like your body's got to adjust. And when you get back, you got to readjust to wherever you live. And then Wadapalooza's 2 weeks after that.
Yep.
I mean, that's going to be a tough swing for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah. I know, and so some of these events, they're doing what they just send out the invites to the elite athletes. So, like, you know, some of them don't have to qualify. And so then that's going to play into like, okay, well, I have a free pass to go to this one. I don't have to do the qualifiers. Maybe you can try and qualify for another one.
Right.
And, I mean, it's going to be a strategy. And you're talking about with the travel. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these elite level athletes, they're sponsored by some companies. I'm sure they probably have something factored in to be able to get some money from them. Because, I mean, with this turning into a year-round sport now, like, okay, previously we had the Open in the spring, regionals in early summer, and then the games in, you know, July or August.
Yeah.
And then also they had the Invitational, which was just like 4 athletes from, you know, a couple of regions competing. And so
it was the top. So the people that made the Invitational were the top representatives from the countries that they were even choosing from.
And so, I mean, now it's year-round. So, I mean, there's the social media blitz that's going to be going on from companies as well, sponsoring their athletes at different events. I mean, it's going to be worth it for them to be able to send people.
Oh, yeah.
And so that may factor into it. But then, you know, looking at how to qualify for the games now, you have each country that has a CrossFit affiliate, the number 1 open performer from that country has automatic qualification to the games, right? You can also go by winning one of these 18 sanctioned, or is the Open one of the sanctioned events?
The Open is not.
Okay, so you have that one, the 18 sanctioned events, if you win it, so that's several slots, and then they also have room for...
They're doing this year the top 20 from the Open.
Okay, top 20.
You get a bid to the game.
So not just your country, top 20, and then also they have an at-large bid in which they get to choose.
Yeah, and they just choose.
Yeah, and so...
I don't know who that might be.
Yeah. And who's choosing? Like, who's making that choice?
I don't know.
HQ? Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if we can just start trolling CrossFit enough, we might get the invite.
Yeah, another thing is like that's also going to turn into social media, because then now companies, like, say you have somebody that goes to Dubai, they finish 2nd or 3rd. Like, hey, you're pretty fit, but you didn't get that qualification spot. They may finish 25th to 30th in the Open, so then you don't get that automatic qualification, especially if you're in like the U.S. and you got, I mean, only one person goes, and so who's going to win the Open? And so then you're going to have folks literally making a case for themselves to go to the games. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. At first, whenever all this was announced, I was like, I hate it. I don't like it, just because it goes away from the norm of what we're used to seeing.
Right.
But I mean, you know, now, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this grows a sport with so many more events going on that actually relate straight to the games.
Yeah, and I think too, like what you're saying, I mean, change is good. You know, change is good, and a lot of, I mean, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm still on the edge about it.
It's uncomfortable.
It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, but it's good, because I mean, from the way I look at it now, you have a lot more events for people to participate in. I don't think that elite athletes, like the top level games athletes, aren't going to go to every competition.
No.
Especially if their goal is to win the CrossFit Games.
Yeah,
because even
and
if
also
you do,
if they're competing against each other. I mean, when you go, if you find a competition that's several of the top folks from the games, I mean, you've got to go head to head against them at how many different competitions and at the games.
Right. And I mean, that kind of wear and tear on your body is gonna, once you get to the games, it's gonna have an effect. But I mean, you've got all these different competitions, so there are a lot more opportunities for companies outside of Reebok, because Reebok's the title sponsor of the games. They get all the signage and everything. But now, you can have the Nikes, the Adidas, the, even other companies like Savage, the Savage company that sells apparel, or whoever.
Yeah,
they can come in and become. Yeah, they can come into this space now, and so they can sponsor events.
Sanctioned,
they can sponsor and they can sponsor more athletes, so more people can monetize their CrossFit career. Because to be honest, if you're not winning the CrossFit Games, you're not.
Yeah, it's going to be a chance to grow.
Yeah,
the sport to grow worldwide, and I mean, you can look at all the analytics. CrossFit does a good job of showing that is how many affiliates, from 2008 to 2018, and just the drastic changes that, like, compared to like the fast food restaurants, like as far as a chain group, it's one of the fastest growing in the world.
Oh yeah.
And so I mean, it's pretty good growth. And so then being able to do this, like you're saying, you have more exposure. More athletes are going to have the chance to get sponsored, and then they'll be able to do it full time or whatever it may be. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah. So I mean, at first I was a little skeptical, but now I'm pretty excited to see how it all plays out, because I think it's going to be. You're going to have something to look forward to all year. Yeah. It's not, because I mean, after the Open, there's kind of a dead period before regionals, and the same between regionals and the games. And then after the games, I mean, like the Invitational is.
Yeah, it pretty much turns into you watching people after the Open get prepared for regionals, and then you watching people after regionals get prepared for the games.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to think like, oh, well, you just kind of like follow people while they're working out. Yeah. But it is like a sport. So, I mean.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
We all get interested to see what, Cam Newton's doing in the offseason or LeBron James. So. Now you just have more opportunities to see these people.
Well, yeah, I mean, you say like off season. There was a traditional off season in CrossFit. Now it's like, what is the off season?
Right. You have to make your own off season.
Yeah, you have to choose, and that goes back into the game plan that these athletes are going to have with their coaches or with whoever to decide like, hey, which one are we going to look at?
Yeah. And then what happens if you put all your eggs in one basket for one competition, you don't do as well as you planned on?
It's going to happen.
And then
somebody's going to blow up.
You got to start scrambling.
Or injury. If you're training too hard, you think like, okay, I've got 2 chances to qualify, and then at that first competition, you're done.
But then, this is the thing that no one has a true answer to it. It's like, what if someone takes a qualifying spot, right? You win, say whoever wins Wadapalooza, all right? They get an automatic bid to the games, but then let's say that same person goes to another sectional event,
and wins another one,
and they win that one. Like, does the second place person get that spot to the
game?
game?
They've not made that announcement.
No one knows that. So I mean, like if it were me, it's just thinking
outside
of the box.
Try and get as many as you can.
Yeah, like if I know, like if I'm Matt Fraser and almost every competition I enter, I win. I'm just gonna go around collecting checks. Yeah. Just all right. I'll take that 50,000. Thank you, Wadapalooza. Thank you.
That's how much it is for Wadapalooza?
Yeah, that's up there, man. Like Rogue is giving out like a total of 400,000.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Speaking of which, have you seen the drawings that they released of what they're trying to do for a new arena?
Oh yeah, they're just gonna build their own building. They're building a building for their competition. That might be an interesting one to try to go to.
Yeah, but the way they have it set up is pretty sweet. It's kind of like
maybe we can find someone with an RV.
That's a good road trip. Let's write it down.
We have to hit Drew up.
That's up in Columbus?
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. We'll hit Drew up. Drew has an RV. See how that goes. But yeah, and so I mean, and the best thing about it is it's not all CrossFit HQ. I think now CrossFit is almost using the same affiliate model with these competitions. I'm sure there are some parameters that are in place for the people hosting the event, but other than that, you get to do it just like you do with opening a gym.
So I've not read much into like the judging. Each competition's got to get their own judges.
Yeah, responsible for their own judges.
So, I mean, in order to do regionals or the games, you have to go through specific training and
judges course.
Yeah, judges course to do that. So I mean, I wonder what. I think
that will legitimize your competition if you made sure all of your
because what's going to happen if you have like a local guy, at one of the, out of U.S. competitions, and then they have a buddy that's judging them. I mean,
Bro reps.
Yeah, there may be some drama, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too much, but
Yeah. But I mean,
because a
even
lot of
with
times
the-
you can't cheat your way out of somebody
Right.
that's fitter than you.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at the games, there've been huge mistakes
Yeah,
made
true.
in a couple events there. So I mean, I think as long as you have, long as the judges,
I mean,
the
mistakes
judging
are
is
gonna
up there,
happen.
human error is going to
mistakes
happen.
gonna happen, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like blatant cheating. That's what you don't want to see show up. But,
Yeah, I think you're going to see a whole lot more of that during the Open.
yeah.
There was one qualifier, I can't remember which one it was, but one qualifier recently, during the qualifying process, you never could see the leaderboard until the scores were closed. And I thought that was genius because, if you're looking at the leaderboard and it's the final hour, the last 5 minutes that someone's put a score in,
So
you're
you
like,
just throw some random reps.
Yeah, you can just.
Because there's a difference if you throw in like 5 extra reps and it looks like, you just edge somebody out. But if you don't know and you come in with drop 50 more reps in the first place, that's obvious. You're an outlier.
Totally obvious.
You out.
know? And I feel like that goes on a lot because,
Yeah.
if you look at, I hate to keep bringing up the Brooke Wells thing with, and then CrossFit releasing the part of the rule book where it says that as long as you show the capacity to perform that workout or get that score.
Yeah, that was a disaster. Hepner trolled that one.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob Hepner. That was awesome.
What is the capacity? Like, I showed up to the gym today, so yeah, I can do that workout. I can get that many reps, but will I? Probably not. I think until they get to a point where, I think there's always going to be some questioning of people's performances, especially in the online qualifiers, until the leaderboard system for that requires a video upon score submission. And so then you post your video, you post your score, the video is attached to it, you see it right there. I think that's the whole thing. And so it's just going to be very interesting. CrossFit's backing out, so they can concentrate more on CrossFit health.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the direction that Glassman wants to go. Which, I mean, I understand completely because, I mean, they're doing a lot of work, up on Capitol Hill in Washington, trying to get big soda out of health regulation. I mean, there's so much money that's pouring in.
Yeah.
I think we may have talked about this on a previous episode, but money coming
We might
in.
need to talk about it even more on another episode.
Yeah, that's maybe what we need to do the next one on. But the thing is, money coming in on research grants, whoever is funding that research usually has a little bit of say in the manipulation of what you put out there.
Yeah.
They're paying you to do the research. They're paying you to get the equipment and all that. So, I mean, that's one of the things that they're trying to fight. And so then also they have the doctor's course that they've implemented. What is that called?
The MDL1.
Yeah, MDL1. And, I mean, that's trying to get CrossFit kind of a foundation in that community, which is also going to help with what they're trying to achieve through legislation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about bringing up, I mean, Glassman's always trying to attack the big sugar. And so that's what a lot of money is, because, I mean, we're a consumer culture, and so that's what happens. And so the shift from them focusing on the games, and it's like you said that you saw something that he had brought up in an interview from 2016 where he was talking about wanting to get more along the CrossFit health aspect instead of the games, because a lot of the flashiness right now is obviously in the games, the way it's structured. And so they're shifting away from that and then also moving more into this sector. So, I mean, I can't disagree with him, especially for, what he's looking at the longevity of not just, them as a company, but also us as the clients that are coming in and trying to get the folks, not just the flashy elite folks, but then just the everyday people that want to come in and work out and want to better their lives, get off medicine, whatever it may be.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really like the direction and everything that's going in.
Yeah.
But
it's just change, man.
we might need to pick that up next episode.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
So, all right, guys. This is episode 20. Make sure you go to YouTube this Thursday? Today? Yeah. Thursday afternoon. Look for the...
Today's Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's coming.
Today, as you're watching, tomorrow for us.
Yes. So make sure after you watch this episode, if you got any questions, feel free to email us. I'm Chris. This is Jared. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.